Okay, let's see here. It's been a while since I did a Facebook Live like this. Really has. Whoops, my bad. Let's see here. Okay, it's been a while since I did live talks. So, how's everybody's day today? Hey, James. Let's see here. I wonder where everybody else is at. Um, one sec. Okay, let's see here. I want to share this out. Okay, who's here? It's actually going pretty good, believe it or not. Okay, let's see here. So, what was it that I was going to talk about today? Oh, that's right. Um, for some reason, I'm not gonna remake the entire video for what I did the other day on Facebook. I'm not gonna remake the entire damn video for life and death. I really won't. Too much time, too much explanation for life and death. So if you guys want to see that video and everything that I said in that particular piece, the link to that video that I did on Facebook is actually in the description. And then you can find everything else in the description that is necessary and things like that. Do you guys have any other questions? So, let's see here. One little topic for everybody, just because I'm bored. Like, there's a lot of boredom in today's society. And for me, boredom is easily cured. But, but today's little fun is going to be done with some readings to those of you guys who are interested. Let's see here. Which I was going to explain, but I actually did get a new deck in the other week, which this really doesn't have any setup. That's just because I didn't feel like doing a specific topic today. So I did end up getting a new deck, and this is the Santa Muerte Tarot, um, the Book of the Dead by, I think this is Fabian. Oh, Fabio Listrani, or Fabio Listrani by Liscarab. It's actually my favorite one of my favorite decks, and this is the Santa Muerte Tarot, which I actually kind of like it. It really is interesting, to say the least. The only thing I find quite interesting about it is just it's nothing but skeletons. It's actually one of my favorite ones to work with when I'm working with myself, Santa Muerte, but at the same time, it's quite interesting of a reading. So, is there any topics that you guys want me to cover, or any specific questions you guys want to ask? What? Let's see here. Well, I do this. That's what I do. I literally just do this. One sec. I'm actually sharing this out into my Facebook page, and then I'm going to share it out to the other pages real quick. Don't want to have this out. Let's see here. Mm. Which I am also doing live readings as well. For those of you guys who don't know, Do, 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 do. Let's see here. Ow. I really have no particular topic for today. I really don't. So I'm just going to be doing some readings. But with nobody here, might as well just randomly do shit. Hey, there you are. I was looking for you, Aquarian Dragon, Aquarian Essence. I was wondering where the fuck you were. Let's see here. Whoops. Wrong one. I accidentally put wrong person. Oh, that's the other thing that I forgot to bring out. It's this deck. Might as well do some spiritual readings while I'm at it. Okay, that's all the cards. That's all I need. Thank you. Let's see here. Might as well get some readings in. Oh, what the hell? That was so damn weird. Let's see here. Who's here who would like a card? Let's see. Do 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 do. So, who's here? Mind you guys, I really can't see comments on YouTube. That's the one fucked up thing about YouTube, is I can't see shit. So, Melanie, I really don't have a topic at all. Like, I just don't. To, well, if I was to do a topic today, what's today, the the what's today, the 7th? Yeah, the 7th. March 7th, 2019, Thursday. Hmm. I know, wait a few minutes. It's actually been 15 minutes, believe it or not, Mel. But, oh well. I know, right? Let's see here. Yeah, I know you did. I have a few other groups to share out to share out to too, but I can't remember them off the top of my head. Duh, just hit me, Mel. Oh, hush. Yeah, I know I don't use you. It's because I don't need you, you asshole. It's not my fault. Everybody's just scared of you. Yes, good boy. Of course everybody's scared of you. Well, technically it's not your fault. Mm-hmm. What do you expect? Not like everybody's gonna just up and show you the niceties. Let's see here. Might as well talk about it, but... Oh, there you are. So, Mel, I think I showed you this the other day. My little pocket idol came in that I ordered from the Voodoo store online. The little thing just came in the other day. I think I showed you it. The pocket idol. It's really not surprising. Little Lucifer. It's not surprising that he finally came in. But let's see here. So before I even get into the topic, or get into the discussions, the readings, and all that good shit, I'm gonna cleanse and purify this thing before I do anything else, because everybody's gonna get scared with this one. But what? You're all scratched. Not surprising. Cleanse and purify this thing first before everybody gets scared of it. But then I'll get into the readings and all that, which I actually do have multiple decks out for you guys. I have my Dragon Oracle, my Witch Wisdom Oracle, my Patch Tarot, and my Santa Muerte Tarot. Yeah, Santa Muerte Tarot out for you guys for some live readings. And then I'm going to also get into the topics of the spiritual side of things. And then answer any of your guys' questions as well, if you guys have any. Okay. Let's see here. So, who's here who's watching? Who would like a reading? Let's see. Let's see here. Do. And then. Oh, you do pop out. I didn't know that. So let's see. Who's here who would like a reading? Do. And if you guys play Koi, I'll just cast a spell. Definitely Michael. Michael, choose a number for me between 1 and 20. Okay. While you're at it, tell me when to stop. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4. So, Michael, you have, or Mitchell. So many different versions of that fucking name. I hate it. So, your card, or your dragon, is the Alpha Dragon, which it says here, it's time for you to harness the divine masculine power of creation. So, in order to do this, you have to destroy the old and visualize your dream in order to help manifest a new world. So, it's technically talking about you getting rid of what is no longer necessary, letting go of what is no longer necessary, even if it means that you have to destroy your comfort zone in order to persevere or move forward, then do it. So it's harnessing the masculine energy of creation in order to create a new reality. So you have to destroy what's already there in order to create something new. But you have to be open to that possibility, which when it comes to using your visualization, it's kind of like you have to bring in what you desire to fruition for yourself. You can't reside on something else or someone else to tell you what you can and cannot do. So you have to take back for yourself your power over your own reality. Why are you going to let somebody else dictate how you're going to live or how you're going to do things when you yourself have that power to control what you desire? So the alpha dragon is kind of like that reminder that that power exists within you. So you have to kind of use that power accordingly, so that way you're not kind of falling or confirming or conforming to whatever everybody else wants you to be. So it's kind of like being true to yourself, honoring yourself, and being as authentic with yourself as needed and as possible. So that way your life is never boring or senile or just completely a chaos. It's kind of like you have to take back your power. There's no need to kind of let other people just walk all over you. So it's like you have to take back your power, no matter how much it's gonna hurt. It's just time to rip off the band-aids, take off the child protective wills, and go on your own and create your own reality and create it in your image. Why create something in somebody else's image when you can create it in your own and just be true to yourself? If that makes sense to you, Mitchell. Definitely, Mitchell. Actually, believe it or not, that's actually what I did earlier today was a return to sender spell. Really have to admit though, that's some interesting residue. But I actually did some return to sending earlier this week, which I still have to clean up the my altar for that one. Still have to clean up my altar. There's a lot of residue that needs to be cleaned, and then I have to like literally just power wash everybody. Let's see here. So who else is here who hasn't had a reading yet? Yes, they do. They really do. It's not surprising though. Like one of these days, I'll show you guys how I do return to sender, and then I'll show you guys a particular spell of mine. One that I don't normally use as often, but it's one that's perfect for me. Which the when I do return to sender, the only thing I'm going to tell you guys is I actually do have a specific handmade oil that I use, and this is it. Which this one, even though this bottle was actually from an old oil bottle I had from one of the other oils that I used for a different purpose, I cleansed it, washed it, and decided to reuse it. So, like, why throw away these bottles? They actually do come in handy. So I actually made my own little spell oil, and this is my. Technically, I call this one the cursing oil, but technically it's just a crossing oil. I did make this one with a scorpion, with a scorpion's tail, but I use this one in my return to sender, just because I want to add in a little war and a little bit of spice. Same thing with red chili pepper and um, chili pepper and red peppers, the crushed red peppers. I also add those ones. And yes, Mike Mitchell. Actually, believe it or not, this right here is my dragon's blood. I actually made a whole bunch of this by accident one day. Ironically, it's just starting to all that shit's starting to settle at the bottom. Still haven't been able to open this after a while. I need to clean it though. But I have so much shit that I have to put away and then like kind of clear on my altar. Same thing with this oil. Unlike this one, unlike my cursing oil, this one is money attraction oil, which ironically all my oils end up coming about the same. To me, dragon blood kind of smells not musky. It's kind of more bittersweet. The only way I can describe it is kind of bitter. Well, to me, it smells bitter. Then again, I work with so many fucking herbs. Shoot. You'd be surprised. So, who else is here who would like bittersweet reputation? Oh, that really is true. Who else is here who hasn't gotten a reading yet who would like one? If not, I'll get into the little topic that I like to discuss, which everybody's going to either say it's evil, yada yada yada, all this other bullshit. I still have a lot of shit to put away. Particularly, I don't like this board. Particularly, this board I have out. I don't necessarily not like it, but at the same time I don't like it because I'd rather have a handmade board. But this one does, and this one works. Let's see here. What else do I have? What else is here? Oh yeah. So I make so many fucking damn oils. It's not even funny. Like I can't even keep track of how many fucking oils I've made. Let's see here. Where did I put it? Oh, good question. Where did I put the bottle? Oops. Oh well, I lost it. Not a good thing. Let's see here. So, since nobody else is wanting to ask questions and just sticking to the foreground or background, I'll just do a topic that I kind of have a more personal relationship with. Exactly. Even the most nastiest of oils has a purpose, and even the most dastardly fucking herb has one hell of a purpose. Let's see here. One of my favorite herbs that carries a very, very potent purpose would actually be this. If I can get it out. Shit. one of my favorites. Valerian root. Very, 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 very potent for cleansing, purification, and protection against enemies. Which, one of the other properties that I've come across with this one is, even though it is a relaxant and is somewhat good as a tea, it's not one that I would suggest drinking like in like huge amounts. But this, when used for protection, is actually pretty good, especially warding off evil and things like that, which is one of my go-to one, which I'm gonna need to buy some more here shortly. My little Valerian root snake. This one I should keep out. My little Valerian root snake. Be one hell of a fucking thing though. Shit, stinks. One thing I hate about valerian root is this fucking smell.
It's like real strong pine, like extra pine.
Mm-hmm.
Real strong smell.
And then what else did I collect over the other day? I collected some more pine needles. Oh yeah, it does. It really does, Mitchell. It really does pack a fucking punch. A very fucking strong punch. Want to make your senses go fuck. Let's see here. Oh, back to the other thing that I was gonna do. Hey, look at that, 2 5s. That was funny. But to me, when I see 2 5s, which equals 10, it's actually a pretty good thing. What was I gonna do? Oh, there we go. I'm completely out of loop today. So mind you guys. I was kind of out of it, but I have a whole bunch of shit right here that has different things. I still have to put in 3 more fucking elementals into my book of spirits, and then I have to put a whole bunch of other fucking things into my book for the book of spirits that I'm working on. But I'm gonna talk about La Santísima Muerte a little later, after I clean her altar and all that other good shit. I'll do a video on my workings with Santa Muerte and how she works for me and everything like that. But because nobody wants to ask any questions, I'll just get into this little rant or topic. But this one is going to be about the Ouija board, which everybody is afraid of it, but yet I've never known the reason why. And reason being is because why the fuck are you going to be afraid of a board when the Ouija board is just a tool for divination? Which, it'd be almost like me being it would literally be like, I'm scared of this. The Daimon Tarot. Why would I be afraid of this? Like, seriously. If I was afraid of this, why the fuck would I be using a Ouija board? If I was afraid of spirits, why the fuck would I be fucking with the Ouija board? Why would I be messing around with magic spirits? Why would I be doing readings if I was scared of spirits? Again, why would I be fearful of something that I've come to grow up with and understand? Well, I know all the terrifying stories that come along with the Ouija board, but that's literally all just bullshit. So again, Ouija board, Ouija, oui as in French for yes, and Ja, German for yes. Then you have the English yes, and then the English no, which no also has so many different other languages all saying no too. And then it has goodbye. I've seen some boards say sayonara. The number is 1 through 0. Then the alphabet. That's a standard Ouija. But why is everybody so fucking afraid of the Ouija board? Well, for one, everybody thinks that the Ouija board opens gateways or doorways for spirits to enter. Well, that's not really true. Even though they can, that's not technically it. It doesn't open up doorways. It just creates a little slit between dimensions or a channel to allow certain spirits in. Again, it is a tool of divination, which you would call it necromancy, which necro, death, spirits and things like that. Everybody thinks that necromancy is more dark arts, but to me, necromancy isn't necessarily dark arts. It's just more gray. Let's just put it that way. It's a lot more gray when it comes to necromancy. And this is just my own interpretation, because the way I work with magic is way different than everybody else's interpretation. So to me, when it works and comes to necromancy, it's not about raising the dead, yada yada yada. Talk to spirits this, talk to spirits that, work hand in hand with spirits this way, that way. Conjure up familiars and shit like that. That's bullshit. To me, necromancy is more or less working hand in hand alongside the spirits in order to attain certain knowledge and things like that. Even for me, I don't give a shit where that information comes from, so long as I can understand more of everything else. Come into that understanding of everything as it is needed. That's all I care about. Is when it comes to working with the spirits and coming up with spiritual knowledge, that's where I have my pet peeves. Is I'm more or less one who's into gaining knowledge, coming into the understanding of how things work and why, and then working alongside everything else. Which I don't give a shit if I have to go to angels, archangels, demons, gods, unearthly entities, Necronomicon spirits, spirits of the Goetia. I really don't give a shit. I don't give a rat's ass where I get certain informations from, so long as I can make sense of it and I can use it. And not just use it for my own personal gain, but kind of use it to help me move forward along my path. Same thing with the Daimon Tarot, which is created by Ariana Osborne, which is basically a definition, dictionary of demons. Which I actually like this deck, and that's just because each deck has the demon on it. Which the Daimon Tarot, each one has the demons. So let's just scroll through this for a bit. You have Ukobak, which I think this is a Scandinavian spirit. It reads on the bottom as the minor description of the entity, which it says here, Ukobak is not one of the ruling class in hell. He is in charge of maintaining the oil in the boilers of the underworld, and it is claimed that he could be credited for the invention of fried foods. Which to me, it really doesn't make all that much sense when it comes to certain spirits like this one, the less well-known spirits. Unlike I so hate this one. Amdusius, another well-known demon, which I don't normally work with him. But Amdusius is a Duke of Hell in command of 29 legions. He conducts invisible instruments in Melodis concert, and the trees bow to his voice. Minor descriptions of each and every spirit. But in this particular deck, this person actually does write a slew of knowledge on, well, a minor definitions and things like that on each of the spirits. And then this person gives minor definitions, like one sentence worth of just overall descriptions. Which, if I was to use this to just do or ask what it is that we need to know right now, and just flip the book. Oh, we have Garuda. Go figure. So, something that everybody needs to know is from Garuda, which she writes annotations and the inspiration for the cards. But the divination of Garuda is focus on patience and perseverance in difficult situations, and on replying or repaying those who help to attain goals. So, having patience, having that will to persevere and continue to move forward even through hardships, but also paying back what others give to you. So it's kind of like repaying debts, but also at the same time giving honor and credit to where it's due and to where it's needed. Which is actually one of the reasons why I like this deck, is because if I really, really, really need help for a said reason, I can literally just flip through this deck and literally just pull cards and just ask for guidance, advice, or if I really wanted to, I can ask a certain spirit to who's willing to help me for a certain set thing. Same thing with spell working, when I work with demons and other oddities, let's just put it that way. Fearfur or Furfur. So many fucking names with these ones. But I call this one the Jersey Devil. That's just my nickname for him. Which is technically a count, but whenever he pops up, I will never read these cards intuitively for shit. Like this is the particular deck that I don't want to read intuitively, and that's just because I kind of channel in the spirit, which is something that I don't like doing like constantly. But if I was to look at Fearfur's card, which I like, the reason why I like this is, look at this book. I like how she does this. Like, I can just create a copy of this, cut out the card, and write what is needed here for particular spell works and things like that. Which Fearfur is all about focus on enduring love and passion. Beware of strong emotions that can become destructive. Which, when it comes to me, of course that's going to be true. Especially when you're young, passion, desire, things like that can be very destructive. But it's also a fairly good warning, believe it or not. It's kind of like sometimes your emotions will destroy you, i.e., what's it gonna call it? The not bipolarness, depression, anxiety, fear, anticipation. All these different emotions can really fucking kill you. But that's it. That's why I like working with these. But then every so often, if I want to, and this is only if I want to, I can meditate with these cards to focus or call in the spirits that are needed. Kainin, and then just read the card, and then ask for him to come in. Same thing with any other fucking thing, especially with divination. You can use anything to gain contact with other entities, oddities, and spirits. This is actually one of my more or less darker decks, but these ones are, when used for divination, go straight to the fucking point when used in that way. But they also are good for working with demons on a more spiritual in-depth level, which I'll fix that later. But back to the Ouija board. Of course the Ouija board isn't evil, because how the fuck can a board be evil? How can a board hurt you and this and that? Well, it can't. Because the only way you can truly get this board moving or going is when it is your intent. Again, flashback. My bad. I accidentally dropped it. So take for example the planchette, the window to the other dimension and things like that. That place of channeling. The doorway, the key, the door, the window. You can call it whatever the fuck you want. Nothing bad will ever come lest you allow it. Meaning you can call in whatever the fuck you want. It really doesn't matter. There's no such thing as opening a gateway to hell with this fucking thing. Because for one, hell doesn't truly exist. Hell is just another term for the underworld. A place where we all must go sooner or later. So why the fuck are we going to be afraid of it? So for example, if I want to talk to a certain spirit, mind you, I do keep myself under protection charm constantly. Just because I'm not that stupid. So, let's see here. Who shall I call on? Oh, I know who to call on. I haven't heard from him in a while. So, take for example, if you wanted to call on a spirit, one, you don't ever use the Ouija board. You never use the Ouija board without protection. You never use the Ouija board when afraid. You never use the Ouija board when you're afraid, or when you hold darkness in your heart. Or what I mean by darkness is fear, anxiety, worry, things like that. Never use the Ouija board. I don't give a shit who you are. Just don't use a fucking Ouija board. If you're gonna be afraid, then why the fuck are you gonna try it? So that's the only thing I have with the Ouija boards, is don't fucking use it if you're just gonna be afraid of it. Don't use it if you're gonna be afraid of it, because that's kind of more of an insult to the spirits, in my personal opinion. Why would you fuck with the spirit and disrespect them in such a manner that is just you? They'll take it like you fucking mocking them, for being a spirit and things like that, which isn't necessarily the case, because they also do have feelings. They do have families and things of their own on the spirit side. Mind you, this is the daimons, the demons, the spirits. And no disrespect to them, but the foolishness that humans perceive of them is really can be very agitating. And yes, I do get them with that point because of course everybody's going to be afraid of them, the hell, because of all the bad shit, bad backlash that everybody says is their fault. They do this, that. They punish, torment, um, will possess you because they hate you, and all this negative connotations to them really gets annoying. So it's kind of like hearing, well, I can't use this term anymore, but you're homosexual, you're gay, yada yada yada, all these negative connotations that everybody gives everybody now, or back in the day, all the bad raps, let's just put it that way, that everybody put on somebody else. Same thing with I don't like getting into the religious aspect. Same thing like Christianity. In order to convert those who are of other faiths, pagans, and all them, everybody else, the Hindus and all them, the only way that they could convert them is to diminish or dehumanize their gods, their deities. So take Kali for example. A demon of wrath is what they prescribed her as, or described her as, my bad. As Kali, a demon of war, bloodshed. But in reality, even though she did those things as the goddess, it was her way of being herself, chaos. Very destructive, but very purposeful. It had a purpose. Everything had to be destroyed in order for something new to come to be. But she's also very loving, compassionate, and she's also very kind to those who work with her. But that's my experience. Same thing with Santa Muerte, the Saint Death. People could say that she's dark and creepy and very, well, death, technically, dark. But everybody knows her for her hexes, curses, and jinxes. But that isn't all she is. Even though she can do those things, she's also compassionate, kind, caring, but she's also unjudgmental. But at the same time, La Santísima Muerte, or Saint Death, goes back into the Aztec goddesses of the underworld. Go figure, right? But same thing with every other deity. Um, Beleth, or Belial, or Baal. He comes from another spirit, another king of the skies. Zeus. Exactly, Mitchell. She really is good. Um, I like working with Kali, but sometimes I just don't want to work with her. Not during Mercury retrograde either. I never work with Kali during a retrograde, and that's just because sometimes Kali can be very. You sometimes you don't want to mess with Kali. Um, Same thing with like other spirits. Some have their good days, some of them have their bad. It's kind of like waking up somebody at the break of dawn, but they wake up pissed because they're still tired from the day before. It's kind of like that, but it's kind of like eon to eon for them. But at the same time, why would you bring in that energy of fear into a Ouija board when that negativity will attract unwanted, unsavory characters? So, for example, I'm debating on who to bring in. I would do Lucifer, but no, I'm not gonna. Maybe. Hmm. Hmm. Who to bring in? That's the question. Do 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 do. Do. I'm not gonna bring in Bast. Hmm. don't want to bring in Michael. Michael's an asshole. Let's see here. And yes, Archangel Michael is an asshole. A very big fucking asshole. Yep. Set that down. I don't want to bring in Archangel Michael, and that's just because he's an asshole. He can be, most of the time. Just depends on how well you work with him. No, what? I'll call on him. That would be funny. Let's see here. So, because I don't like using my board unprotected, by the candle light that lies. Let's call upon my guardian demon, Azazel. One of my favorites. I invoke Azazel to step into the circle and into this board to answer this question that I have. Azazel, are you here? Thank you. Okay. With Azazel at the board, all you have to do is ask. That's it. Make sure you're guarded, protected. Have a candle lit. Who gives a shit? Do what you feel is necessary. But know that the Ouija board isn't evil. No, you can't necessarily create negativity. No, there won't be any problems. And same thing with summoning up spirits. Why would you show them the disrespect of showing them fear? Same thing with Azazel or Azazel. Why? Why fear him? Like Azazel, one of the best known demons there is. Why are you going to fear him? Thank you. Thank you for reminding me. I do have something in particular for you, Azazel, but I'll give it to you after the live, because remember I'm still. Yeah. Exactly. Well, what do you expect? Well, out of all the spirits I could summon, I might as well summon you because at least you're more well versed in things than I am. Well, if I summoned him, it's not possible. Tolpas can't traverse this board. There's a reason for it. I don't like messing with Tolpas, especially when I can't see them or hear them. So instead of opening that up to them, I'd rather keep it to actual spirits that I can see, hear, and sense. Tulpas are assholes that way. Same thing with you. But yeah, Azazel, one of the best masters of magic that I know, and the one demon who can actually teach you shit way better than any other master or teacher there is. The way he taught me is a little different. Same thing with Lucifer, which Lucifer was actually one of my first teachers. You'll be surprised, Michael. Um, he, to be honest, I really don't need the board to answer that question from him. Azazel actually, he can help you, but at the same time, when it comes to Return to Senders, he's not going to help you. He won't. When it comes to Return to Senders, when it comes to spell work, he will not help you. He will give you what is needed for you to do the work, but he will never do a working for you outright. And what I mean by this is he's not gonna just do it for you just for the fuck of it. He doesn't really give a shit. Unlike most spirits, Azazel doesn't exist. Well, he does exist, but at the same time he doesn't. It's one of those paradoxes where he exists but he doesn't, where he is and he isn't, where he will be but he won't. He doesn't teach in the traditional manner. He kind of just throws out this or that and then he teaches, and then he makes you learn what he teaches even if you don't understand it. And one of the ways I learned was, first I learned from Lucifer, the morning star, Venus. I learned from him the arts of arcane magic, which was more ceremonial in purposes. But then going a little bit further, I learned from Lilith, or Lilitu. I also learned from her. I learned the use of sexual energies and things like that. But at the same time, I also learned the art of blood magic. And again, when it comes to working with Azazel, when you have a blood bond, and I've done blood magic with a whole bunch of other deities and entities, and collected each of our blood in a goblet. You guys can call it the Holy Grail, but it has many other names. But that's just my perspective of shit. That's just how I've done it. That's how I've done the work. And when it works with Azazel, he's not gonna just do it like this, and he's not gonna give it to you. He'd rather have you do it yourself. That's just the rundown of shit. If you can't do it yourself, then why the fuck is he gonna do it for you? Because it'd be a waste of his time and energy, because he already knows that you can do it yourself. So you don't need him. But at the same time, Azazel, he really doesn't give a shit about the physical world. He'd care less. But at the same time, to me he's that. He's kind of like that one fellow, or that one person who says they won't do shit, but then like later on they'll just give you a bone. It's extremely weird when it comes to him, because he's always constantly doing something else, and he's very unpredictable, which to me that's kind of funny, because that unpredictability is kind of what makes me want to work with him. Is because when it comes to unpredictability, an Aquarius can be very unpredictable, but at the same time we're very logical, very much knowledge based. And when I work with him, he kind of reminds me of me, but that's how I get along with him. That's my relationship to him. Is, to me, he's kind of like an older brother. That's just how I put it. He probably doesn't like it that way, but oh well. go and put my hand on it and try to move the planchette. Of course. I told you not to call me that. I really told you not to call me that. But Mitchell, Aquarius Sun, 10th degree. Aquarius rising, 11. Moon, Cancer, 26. But again, there is nothing to fear with the Ouija board. Why be scared? And so much shit can happen with the Ouija board. It's actually pretty funny. Even if I don't ask any questions, he'll still kind of talk. Okay, goodbye. That was funny. But there's a name that he knows me by, but I really don't like being called it, and that's just because I don't like being called that name. That name kind of died a long time ago. But at the same time, when it comes to working with spirituality, it's really fucked. Like, let's see here. Let me put this up. I don't like keeping my Ouija board out. I keep my boards hidden. But there's so much shit. Who else is watching? But there's something about the video that I did with life and death that I liked. Where I did the video on life and death. Yin and yang, good and bad, good and evil, all that good shit, which is in the description with a whole bunch of other shit. Which to me is kind of like on and off. And then there's like so many fucking other shits that goes on. That includes There's so many other things that kind of pop up here and there when I work with spirits, and some of it can be interesting, but then again, there's like so many different ways you can work with spirits. Like, one, you can talk to spirits with tarot. You can automatic write. You can scry, mirror scry. You can crystal scry with spirits. There's so many different other ways you can work with spirits. But is there any other questions that you guys might have? And then I'm gonna get off the live, and then I'm gonna continue to work on my little book of spirits. That's the one thing I like about this book. which this is one that you can buy at any store. The Book of Shadows, a personal journal of your craft with the instructions or introductions by Cassandra Eason, which this is actually one of my favorite books, but it's not one that I would use for like a spell book per se. But I actually do have Cassandra Eason's spell book that she made. 1001 Spells. The Complete Book of Spells for Every Purpose by Cassandra Eason. Which I do like this book, but I don't normally use these spells because whenever I do spells, I do my own personal spells. The only time I come to this is when I need inspiration for making a new one. Like this one for lucky symbols. 342. A Kuan Yin blessing for good luck, where it is most needed in your life. You would need a statue of Kuan Yin, the Tibetan, Buddhist, and Chinese goddess of compassion and good fortune, now a folk icon, 2 floral incense sticks in a double holder in front of the statue, a small dish also in front of the statue. Then when you need a boost of good fortune, and then it says here for the spell, which if you guys want to, you guys can rewatch this after the live and write this spell down if you guys want to. But it says here, light the incense stick, saying, wise mother who has vowed to stay on earth until all are happy, I ask for good fortune for myself, block parentheses, or name another person, parentheses, in parentheses, specific area of life in which good luck is needed, parentheses. Thank you for your blessings, or thank you for blessings soon to be received. Then spiral an incense stick in each hand, writing in the air in incense smoke over the statue the name of the recipient and the type of good fortune needed, and return the incense stick to the holder to burn. Then place a small offering in the dish, such as a flower, a crystal, or some grain in a bag, or grains in a bag. And then finally it says, add an offering daily and repeat the spell's last words until a request is granted. That's the Kuan Yin's blessing. And then they have a money pig ritual for good luck, especially in finances, a lucky frog or toad charm, and then so many other different things, which is one of the things I like. And then on number 350 is an ancient abracadabra lucky charm, which is another reason why I like this book, is because abracadabra I create as I speak, or Avada Kedavra I destroy as I speak, which is another spell that I found interesting, but is also and actually does come in handy from time to time. But that's actually one of the reasons why I like this book. Same thing with like every other fucking book I carry, is it all has a purpose, but yet I don't keep a vast amount of spells, or rather a vast amount or a majority of spell books or any other magic or craft books, is because to me, when it comes to working in the craft or working with magic, I kind of like working and learning from the spirits. I won't do anything conventionally. That part I got from Azazel, is I don't like being the same as everybody else. So I will have my secrets in how I do things. I will have my own particular way of accomplishing a goal or desire. And sometimes I don't give a shit about how I do it, so long as I get what I desire. Simple as that. And the one thing I hate is that, I know I've said it before, but it's the rule of 3. I don't give a shit about the rule of 3. Reason being is because I will gladly accept the consequences when those consequences comes back. I'll gladly accept it. But so long as I get what I desire and what is needed when I need it, then so be it. Um, I really would care less about consequences because sooner or later, everybody has a consequence to each of their actions, be it positive and negative. Even if we do something positive, we're going to still get a consequence because that consequence comes in another form of somebody else doing something to somebody else, and so forth and so forth. Kind of a ripple effect. Everything we do has a consequence, and sometimes we are not aware of the consequences. We're not aware of it because even the tiniest detail can change in a major event, which to me it's pointless because we're stuck on that frequency of harming each other, meaning everybody's still fighting, which I'll probably talk about that in another video, which is going to be about world peace and how to bring about prosperity for everybody. But that's going to be a whole nother topic other than this one. But again, the Ouija board is nothing to be scared about. It's just a tool, just like any other tool or divination artifact. So why be scared? And then at the same time, I did do a video earlier about daimons and demons and all them. And of course, there's nothing to fear with them. They're just spirits. What else can they be? Same thing with everything else. Why have regret? Why hold on to things that are no longer necessary? Because they're not needed. And same thing with me. I'm not going to be conventional because why do I want to be like everybody else when I can just be me? Be true to myself. But yet, I want to strive to gain an understanding of everything in existence, everything in creation, and come to an understanding of where I am in that pinnacle point of everything else. So it's kind of like, for you guys, is putting into perspective what is necessary for you guys to create a happier life for yourself, but also reclaim your own power. Why be conventional? Why hold yourself back when you can create the change that you desire now, even if it does have a consequence? Take back your power, reclaim it. And instead of being too soft or too laid back, learn how to defend and fight back, because it is in that we can find balance. If we can't defend ourselves, even on the spiritual level, like Return to Senders, some of the shit that I do with Return to Senders can be very seen as dark, but when somebody attacks me, I'm not gonna play nice, because once you guys attack me, I will attack you back, and I'm not gonna be pleasant about it because you guys attacked me first. So not only am I gonna send back what you sent at me, but I'm gonna show you the full length of what will happen if you fuck with me. Same thing with this one. One thing with this one is that I didn't just use the cursing oil. I also used cinnamon oil, and another one of my favorites, war oil for war. Some pine needle, I added in chili pepper and crushed red peppers into this to flare things up a bit and to get shit moving and to get payback for what has happened to me. So it's kind of like I brought my own justice, because what people send at me is bullshit. So might as well burn away their bullshit and throw bullshit back at them. And at the same time, it's kind of like, why am I going to be docile and just let people attack me and just send it back and then still have that process repeated over and over again? So when it comes to working with magic, don't constantly just take their attack and just send it back. Show them you mean business. And this is just from my perspective. Don't continue that cycle of allowing them to attack you. Because if they want to keep attacking you, attack them back. Because they're just going to continue to do it. Same thing with Azazel, the scapegoat. They used him as a scapegoat, but do you think he cared? No, because he is and he is not. But at the same time, he really does not give a shit about anything in the material world. He would care less of anything else. But he will always do what he feels like doing. But he will never allow anybody to step on him. Meaning, he will step on everybody else before he allows himself to be stepped on. And only once have I ever seen anybody step on Azazel. And he did not allow that to happen. And I mean, whoever did try to step on Azazel and piss him off, gone. Just gone. Simply gone. They're gone. Because Azazel will not play around. He will not play nice if you fuck with him. Which is one of the reasons why I like working with him, is because to me, even though he can show compassion to a point, and I'm saying to a point, there's a point of where he can show compassion. He will be benevolent, but he can also be merciless, like a double-edged sword. It can be used to attack and defend. It could be used to block, but it will also kill. And you can use it to cut somebody else, but it can also cut you. So he's kind of like that double-edged dagger or sword that you kind of have to be wary with. And if you work with him the wrong way, of course you're going to get yourself hurt. Of course you're going to get yourself injured because you didn't know how to fucking work with him. Same thing with working with any other spirit. If you're not careful and you don't know what the fuck you're doing, you're going to fuck yourself over. And they're not going to give a shit because they just are. The human, the material, the dumbass, the fool, the idiotic, that in who we are, the human race, the dumbasses of creation, those of us who think that we're badasses and all that good shit, the dumbasses of all things. Doesn't you can call humans whatever the fuck you want. We can think that we can do this or that. We can work to do this and that. But sometimes, if you guys ever noticed, when those uses guns, daggers, knives, swords, spears, and all that other good shit, of course we're going to be able to hurt ourselves. We're human, meaning we're stuck on the physical plane. We're limited to what we can do because we're in a physical body, a physical form, and we can exhaust our energy, whereas they can't. They have unlimited power, and they can do whatever the fuck they want because they're not bound by our laws. They're not bound by our physics. So that really does put it into perspective, especially when things really get heated up. They can do whatever the fuck they want. But so long as everything is in their terms, you'll be fine. But at the same time, it's not necessarily that you have to do everything from their terms. You have to find a balance between what you need and what they desire. And you're working hand in hand. You're not going to be doing 595. They're not going to do that. They're not going to do all the fucking work. They're going to put most of that work on you. They'll do their half. When you put it 50-50, they'll do their half. But they also expect you to put your effort, your time and energy into what it is that you want to accomplish for yourself. But if you can't do that, they're not going to do it. They'll put in the same fucking effort, the same energy that you yourself put into what you desire and what it is that you want to accomplish. Simple as that. Why would they waste their energy, their time to help us with our desires if we're not willing to do the work or put in the energy that is necessary to bring it to manifestation. Same thing with manifestation work. It's you have to put in your energy first, and then they'll put their energy in to help your energy boost and manifest what you desire. They're not going to play around, and they're not going to just willy-nilly throw away their energy for no fucking reason. So again, that puts into that perspective that when it comes to working with spirit, it's more or less, to me, I kind of see it as a partnership, but you can see that as a broad spectrum, as a partnership, a hand-in-hand deal, a 50-50 handshake. But to me, I kind of see it as the brother sister, brother father, brother mother relationship, right? The father mother brother sister relationships with each and every spirit. That's how I see it. When I look at it from that perspective, I see them all as family. So of course I'm going to help family. Of course I'm going to work with my family. Of course I'm going to put in the effort to work with them and talk to them and get to know them and do what is necessary on my part to do what I desire. Of course I'm going to put in that energy. So I will expect that same energy for when I work with them. So why would I play around? Why would I do things behind their back when I know for a fact they're gonna know what I'm doing anyways? Like, to me, when I work with spirits, I don't try to hide anything from them. I don't give a shit if they know or not, but I will always tell them what I need to. Always. I'm never gonna to lie to them because there's no point. And same thing with my manifestation journals. I actually did create journals for manifestation. This is one of them. This one I haven't used yet, so I'm going to show you guys this one. But this one, I have a picture of Baphomet, or Bahamut, or Muhammad. But I have his image in this particular book because Baphomet is a representation of duality, balance, and harmony, while at the same time he is also that representation of masculine and feminine, but he's also the physical, the human, and the animal world, the winged creature, the creatures of the earth, while at the same time also healing, balance, kundalini, and things like that. He's literally the representation of the world, unification, balance. And to me, he's not necessarily a demon per se. He's not a demon. He's more or less a deity than he is anything else. But everybody perceives him as a demon, but technically he isn't. And to me, he's kind of that reminder that even the most beautiful of things can be twisted or tormented into something that they're not. And that's the one thing with me, is I will never see anything out of torment as or not, because it's all in our mind of how we perceive them. And if we perceive them as such, in that negative light, of course they're going to be pissed. Of course they're going to get mad and wreak havoc on our lives, is because it's technically us disrespecting them. So it's literally learning to work hand in hand with them, learning to work with them, and not just please them, but kind of 50-50 it. Honor them, respect, like you would do anybody else. Simple as that. Like, what else can you ask for? They will always be there. If even if you have the whole world against you, at least they would be there for you. If you guys don't agree with that one. But with that said, you guys, I'm going to end the live here, and I'll see you guys in the next video.